A dream plus dealing with reality plus determination equals a successful life. Which part of that equation is the hardest? Is it the dream? Everybody has one. If we went in this room, everybody has a dream, different people, different places, whatever. Is it determination? Everybody has various levels of determination. You know what the hardest part is? Dealing with reality. But your ability to deal with reality is directly correlated with getting outcomes that you want. And by the way, as a species, we are not good at dealing with reality. We create alternative realities that make us feel better and look better in our own eyes. Now, what's also true though, is that requires a plan. And by the way, just so you know, what's the derivative of the word discipline?
Disciple.
She knew that. What does a disciple mean? Devoted. Are you devoted to your vision?
Yes. Some.
Ah, you see, that was like, yes, but kind of, sort of. You see, I was devoted to freedom. Devoted to it. Because the alternative was not acceptable to me. And when you're devoted, I'm curious. Okay, good. Now, when you're devoted, though, I'm curious. Is discipline an issue? No, because I am a disciple. I don't disciple. I'm not discipling. I am a disciple. I'm devoted to it. So, Marcy, you made a huge physical transformation in your life, right? You used to weigh 100 pounds more, correct? Yeah. And to the best of my knowledge, you did that through diet and exercise, correct? Yeah, no like Ozempic or fucking shortcuts or anything like that. Yeah, which by the way, it was funny because I was having a conversation with my daughter and there people next to us were talking about like Ozempic. And they're like, oh yeah, I lost like 40 pounds. The other guy's like, oh yeah, I lost, and he was still heavy. I lost like all this weight. And then you know what they were eating? Waffles.
Of course.
With fucking syrup and all this shit. And you know what I said to my daughter? My daughter was right there. She's like, what are they talking about? I'm like, well, they're talking about a shortcut. Yeah. And she said, what do you mean? I'm like, well, it's this drug that actually tricks your body into thinking it's full. That's what it does. You know how poor our impulse control is as humans? You know what our solution was before? Staple our stomach smaller. That's how poor our impulse control is. Now you know what it is? We're going to put something in our body that hormonally tricks my body into thinking that I'm full. So I said to her, what's happening is that what these people don't realize is as soon as they stop taking that, they're going to go right back. And do you know what they're actually robbing themselves of? The character that it fucking takes to do it in a way that's sustainable. So I'm curious for you, that particular habit, which is tied to a whole bunch of other things, I'm imagining. You use food as a way to cope with stuff. But that particular habit, you sat down one day, you said, hey, if I keep doing this, this is where it's going. Okay, and what caused you to be like, okay, that's it, not doing it anymore?
My kids, I have 2 kids, and I wanted to be a positive example for them, and I wanted to be around for them. I wanted to teach them how to live a healthy life.
Yeah, and that was so powerful. Does anybody have to fucking call you to be like, hey, are you going to work out today?
No one.
No one. Because, guys, I need you to understand something. External accountability breaks down. Always. Anybody have a gym partner who flaked out? Anybody who have a role play partner that flakes out? Yeah. Guys, external accountability breaks down. It has to come from inside of you. But her reason, see, many of you guys like are capable. You don't have strong enough reasons or enough of them. She named 2 that were very powerful. 1, I want to be around for my kids. 2, I want to be example for them. And I need you guys all to hear me on something. You will do way more for other people than you will yourself. But she looked at that habit. So I want you guys to do something. Just humor me. Write down right now one habit that if you followed it out in 5 years would not lead you to the specific destination that you want to go. Maybe it's scrolling on Instagram for fucking 3 hours a day. Maybe it's watching too much Netflix. Maybe it's not reading enough books. All right, so who wants to be brave enough to raise their hand and tell me what they wrote down? What do you got?
Not taking enough action.
Okay, and what specifically?
Accomplishing short-term goals.
Okay, what I would propose is it's actually not action that's keeping you there. What's underneath not taking action? What are you trying to prevent?
Failure.
Yes, I'm trying to prevent looking bad in other people's eyes, so I don't do anything. Anybody besides me have ever experienced that before? Yeah, which is super interesting. Where did you get the idea that failing is bad?
Other people.
Other people? And is there anybody in particular that you're concerned about what they think?
Myself.
Yourself? Anybody else? Nobody else. No? Who are you trying to impress?
People around me.
Okay. Who specifically?
My wife.
Ah, okay, good. Now, when he said that, you guys can't see him, but there emotion flashed in front of his face. Who else?
My parents.
Ah, interesting. See, you know what was first? And I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate your authenticity because the story of one is the story of all. Notice when I asked him who he's trying to impress, he's like, I don't know. But as I continued to ask, what came up? Very quickly, my wife and my parents. Interesting. Look, he's smiling now.
All that weight.
Do you see?
You said honesty.
It is, and it's the only way that this works, by the way, is if you're honest. Because the truth is we're all on the same path. And if we really are honest with each other, we're just fucking trying to figure it out. We're doing the best we can. We're just trying to figure this shit out. But this pattern is very common. It's not. And then what happens is we end up trying to I need to listen to David Goggins. That'll do it. That'll get me to really give it a go. I got to read Atomic Habits. That'll do it. That'll help me to get into action. Nah, bro, until you deal with what we're talking about right here, that'll constantly and perpetually be an issue. It's holding you back. It's like there's this race that you want to run, and there's two people standing next to you, and you're like, oh my God, what happens if I don't win? Are you still going to love me? Because isn't that really what you're worried about? If I don't perform, then I won't be accepted, and if I'm not accepted, I won't be loved. That's how powerful the desire for love is. It's so strong that it can keep me frozen in fear that if I don't perform, I won't be loved anymore. Again, what are we doing? Where are we going? Why are we going there? So habits compound over time, good and bad. This had a particular set of habits, did it not?
Yeah.
That's what I call skinny fat.
The worst kind.
Skinny fat. Okay? That was going on runs and calling it exercise. Anybody do that shit besides me? Yeah. Oh, I went for a jog today. No. Yeah. I bought my fucking $200 hookahs and I went for a jog. Not paying attention when I'm putting into my mouth. Not prioritizing health. That second picture has a set of habits, does it not? You know how long that took? 3 months. What I'm aware of, though, that this required a radical change in thinking and prioritization of time. 100%. And this is just an example, right, of how you can change very fast, very quickly with the right plan and right strategy. By the way, do you know, I also hired a coach because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Even though I've done triathlons, even though I've done half marathons, even though I played high school football, you know what the real truth was? I had no fucking idea what to do in the gym. And then you know what the real truth is? Most people don't. I had no idea. I had no idea about movement. I had no idea about nutrition. I had no idea about any of that stuff. It took me 90 days just to figure it out. Ask yourself this next question. Who brings out the best in me and can I schedule more time with them? Who brings out the best in you? Yeah. It's like you. Who brings out the best in you? I love that, bro. And can I schedule more time with them? Because do you know what I see most, what people do? The moment that stuff starts to go not going right, they retreat and isolate themselves from everybody because they don't want to appear what? Weak. And by the way, does that work? No. Guys, you're one relationship away from changing your family tree for the rest of your life. I've probably had 5 relationships. One of them, I spoke to him this morning. I've spoken to Neil Weichel every week for 17 years. He makes $5 million a year selling real estate. He's not flipping. He's not doing anything else. He's worth $30 million. Now, money's only one way to measure success because no amount of external success can make up for failure at home. 100%. But he's been successful there too. Married 28 years or something like that. And, but he's one relationship. And guess what? I prioritize time. I speak to him every week. So who wants to tell me who it is for them? Who brings out the best in you? Yep. Betty. What's up, team? That's awesome. And you guys are buds. So how could you schedule more time with her?
Chit-chatting when we door knock.
Okay. But you guys spend a lot of time together.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Yeah. So that's an example where you actually are spending a lot of time with her. And how can you get the most out of that time, though? Because I know you guys are friends, too.
Yeah, I think by doing things to prospect.
And what exactly does she bring out in you?
She just makes me do it. Because I know I have the talent to do it, but she just pushes
So is it inspiration? Is it motivation?
I think it's a little bit of everything.
Is it her leading by example? Like, what is it specifically that causes you to get into action when you're in her presence?
I don't know. I think it's like having that person, like that backup to if I freeze with a question, she jumps in, and vice versa. We just lead off each other.
Got it. So it's just support,
Yeah.
and it makes you feel more comfortable.
Yes.
Yeah, that's dope. Good. So what's interesting is like as we're having this conversation and I'm asking you what exactly did she bring out in you? At first it's like, well, I don't know. She's kind of cool. But then as we start to dig, it's like, well, she actually makes me feel more comfortable. She actually like supports me. She's strong in areas that I'm not. And the clearer you can get on that, the more you can pull from that interaction. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Identify your A-list and put them in your calendar. The other thing that comes up for me, guys, is just because I'm up here, if you've noticed, there's some fucking amazing humans amongst you. I'm just the one that has the microphone. Do you understand? Like we've all done some like pretty awesome shit. We just don't realize it because we live in an Instagram world and you're comparing yourself to like 0.0001% of the population. Okay. Are my actions aligned with the life that I want or just what others expect of me? The pressures of family, friends, society around us can suffocate our individuality and cause us to lose sight of what we truly want in life. So what would be an example of just what others expect of me? Sonia, rockstar elite builder in the house, let's go.
Thank you. So one of the things that I struggle with is when I'm busy in business, I'm focused on, my email, connecting with everyone, and then I forget to do what people expect of me, which is show that I'm a performer on Instagram.
Yeah.
And so maybe like in 1 week, I post like a whole bunch of postings that I had probably 6 months before because I fall, in between what the world expects, which is
And what you actually want.
yes.
Yes. So for those who don't know, she has 11,000 subscribers on YouTube. And I don't know if you know this, but only 10 million channels out of 150 million ever get past 1,000 subscribers.
Wow.
That's the fucking truth. Somebody was talking shit. They're like, oh, this guy talking about social media, he only has 33,000 followers. I'm like, dude, I looked it up. There's 1.6 billion Instagram accounts. There's only 116,000 that have more than 20,000 followers.
Wow.
We just think it's everybody. It's not.
And they're natural.
Yeah.
They're not bought or managed by
No.
company.
Yeah, same. So what I'm aware of too, though, is that, okay, so people have this expectation of you that they want you to like, do all this other stuff. And it's not in alignment with what you actually want. And what you actually want, it sounds like, is to create more content and to work with more buyers and sellers. That's what you actually want. So what gets in the way of her doing that?
Daily routine.
Well, here's what I would propose is, one, what did you say? It doesn't have a plan. What else?
What's this?
What gets in the way of getting an assistant?
Mindset.
Money. Because 65% of us came from families with paycheck to paycheck. So you heard things like, if it's going to get done, it has to be done by, which is fucking stupid. How many real businesses have no employees? 0. That's why you guys go to flat fee companies. I'm trying to keep everywhere a dollar. That's why you do your own transaction coordinator. I want to keep every little dollar. But do you see? It gets in the way. So there's a loop. There's pain. What you're expressing to me is pain. Then I have to do an audit of my time. What am I spending time doing that's sucking energy away from me? Then I have to transfer those activities to someone else. Then I have to fill this newfound time with the shit I like and enjoy, and that I'm really good at. And you know what will happen? You'll magically make more money. Haha. Do you see? Watch this evolution. So people work with buyers and sellers, right? But then they experience pain because they're like, fuck, I can't grow because the buyers take up so much time. So then what they do is they have to do an audit. What am I doing that's taking time away? Working with the buyers. So now I need to transfer that to other people and fill it with more activities towards listings. Prospect, lead, follow-up, go to appointments, negotiate deals. Fine. That'll get you like 50 deals. If you're still fucking around with the admin, you know what happens? You experience pain because your phone's ringing all the time. You got no time. It's 7 days a week, all that, right? So then you have to do an audit. What's sucking energy away from me? Income servicing activities. So what do I have to do? Transfer that to a listing coordinator, transaction coordinator, and I can fill that time with more prospect, lead, follow-up, go to appointments. You'll do 100 deals. In the Bible, it says, if you have a lamp that's lit, you do not hide it in the closet. You put it on the table so it can provide light for everyone. It can also light other lamps.